My hearing problem played a role before he abused me. It played a big role in the way I was perceived as a child by others, you know. But I was misunderstood because nobody really knew the extent of my hearing problem. Actually, it was because I taught myself how to read lips. You know, it didn't stop me from having issues, but I wasn't a bad kid. I wasn't a teenage delinquent yet. The worst thing I did was run around chasing the girls. Again, I wasn't gay. I was trying to kiss the girls, man. Anyhow. There's so many things I want to tell you. That's why I always wanted to write a book, because there's so much for me to say. And when you write a book, you move around back and forth into different things, and the storylines kind of go in opposite directions, and then they come back and they meet somewhere. There's a method to the madness when it comes to writing a book. Not all the chapters make sense until you read another chapter. And like a movie. You know, not all movies can be told the same way as the book. You know, because the book is allowed to be more descriptive, and there's a storyline leading up to it. You know, there's a storyline after, and there's all kinds of different paths to go. You know. The book can go in many different directions. The movie can do the same thing, but, you know, Pulp Fiction was really crazy the way he wrote that. That's kind of the way a movie about my life would have to go down. But why? Because life is not fair. Oh, what a title. The drama. My parents were not bad people, all right? They were just trusting of the situation more than they should have been. They didn't want that to happen to me, but they made it possible. Because if he's not allowed to stay in my room that night, none of this happens. At least that's the only factual way I can look at it. You know? They, in their wildest dreams, did not think this man was going to abuse me that night in our house that weekend. No way my parents ever thought that. So they're not responsible for his behavior. That was on him. But you can't paint a canvas if you don't have a canvas. And that's basically what he did to me. He took a canvas and he painted it the way he wanted to. Yeah, he affected me. He affected me in ways that he just cannot fucking understand. His own behavior, and he doesn't understand it. He was a repressed faggot. Period. Trapped in a orthodox religion and forced to do things in order to satisfy his perversion. Because that's what it was. Any man that has to have sex with a little boy is a pervert. It's not about being gay. Okay? It's about taking advantage of the age of the individual that you're claiming to have sex with. It's an abuse of power. Plain and simple. The priest, the reverends, policemen, doctors, trainers, clergymen, whatever. You know, it's an abuse of power. And yeah, you know, there's a distinction, again, between the ages when it happens as to how it affects those individuals and in what way it actually becomes dealt with. You know? I mean, it's one thing to be a woman that gets forcibly raped. That's horrible. That's a trauma. That's got to be the most horrific thing to go through. But they know it when it happens. They know they were raped. And then there are those women that get raped that didn't know it happened. It's still a trauma. And then there are those women that allow themselves to be in a position for that to happen. They have to take some responsibility for that. But it doesn't change the fact that if somebody decides to abuse them, that it's not a trauma. It's still a trauma. You know, when you're beaten, robbed, tied up, you know, those are all traumas that are real, and you know they happened in real time. And they're dealt with in a different capacity by those around you. It's a lot of it is a judgment call about how it's going to be dealt with from different perspectives. And with me, or any child like me, the trauma is different. It's hidden, which in a way makes it worse, because it is allowed to permeate and fester and, you know, and be buried and covered with more shit, you know, not allowing for that person to actually deal with the trauma. Instead, it becomes undertow, and a continuation. It makes you question your own self. I didn't have any self-esteem. I was strictly ego. You know, I made sure that I looked good. I never had a problem getting a job. When I needed a job, I always got a job because I was a good-looking kid, reasonably intelligent, you know, took care of himself, dressed okay, you know, had a car, could be relied upon. I had a good cover. And I got away with a lot of shit because of it. But I also attracted a lot of shit because of it. It just was a continuation. But the trauma was not something that I understood. I mean, literally, other things became the focus. All right, but here's the thing: when I came back from Houston, he was gone because he knew that I had gone to a drug abuse program, and he was worried that it was coming. So he left the jurisdiction of Memphis. Which means he has probably, with most certainty, abused different children in different states and fled the jurisdiction of each one of them. Now, that's federal. It's a federal case. And I'm in Brazil, so it's not like I'm really able to do a whole lot to facilitate justice. You know, I wish that somebody watching would contact me at emk211@hotmail.com. That's emk211@hotmail.com. I wish somebody, and you know who you are, would contact me about this, about my being sexually abused by my cantor. We were raised as little Jewish boys to always be prepared for our bar mitzvahs, for the days when we would become a man in the Jewish religion. Thank you for ruining that which I was taught for me. No, you didn't have any effect on anything at all. None.